This is Making Stitches, and this time we're visiting an independent yarn shop serving a community of knitters and crocheters in Stockport, Manchester Wool and Yarn.
We are genuinely here to help. You can come in with a pattern query and we're going to help you find the perfect yarn for that project. It's not just, what are you buying? Yeah, check you out, see you later. Most of my job is pattern querying, people coming in saying, I've got this, what can I use it for? Or I've gone wrong here, can you help me fix it? And I've no problem getting some needles out of the back and we go over it together, and that's the beauty of it, really. Yeah, it's what makes us different.
Hello and welcome to Making Stitches. I'm Lindsay. I've loved being creative and making things for as long as I can remember, and I love to hear people talk about their creativity too. Making Stitches podcast allows me to share those creative stories with you. This time my guest is Gareth, the owner of Manchester Wool and Yarn, a small but perfectly formed indie yarn shop in Stockport in Greater Manchester. If you're a regular listener to the podcast, you may recognise Gareth from the Textile Festival episode when I spoke to him about being the main sponsor of the event last month. And if you're a yarn appreciator on social media in the UK, there's a very good chance you'll be aware of Gareth too. He's very active on socials, promoting his shop and chatting about his appreciation for all things yarn. The day I arrived was a significant one for Gareth. He'd just received a very special delivery from Stylecraft with a new range of yarns and patterns designed for men. He was actually wearing one of the designs as we chatted, a beautiful textured jumper with a collar. It's all over the Manchester Wool and Yarn socials if you want to check it out. Gareth.
Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me to visit your gorgeous little shop. It's just a riot of colour and the perfect place to record a podcast because there's no echoes with all the nice
Why
soft...
not? It works well, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you first started out with knitting and crocheting.
Gosh, that's a question. So, when I was little, so probably about 8 or 9, we learnt how to finger knit at school, and I just got obsessed with it, really. And from there, my mum then taught me how to properly knit, because I think she was just sick of me making long cords of nonsense, because you can't really make anything with finger knitting. Then I taught myself to crochet. Then, I suppose whilst at uni, we did a Secret Santa, and the rule was that you had to make the thing that you were gifting. So I thought, I'm going to pick up this thing that I used to do, the knitting. And I made a scarf, and I don't know whether it was the stressful environment of university or what, but I just caught the bug completely. From there, I've always been working in hospitality since I was about 15, 16. So for the last 10 years before the shop, that's what I've been doing, really, in hotels and cafes and brunch venues and all that kind of stuff. So this always felt like a pipe dream, really. And then it wasn't until my last job where I kind of realised I'd just been going in this cycle, really, of starting a job, giving too much of myself to it, bringing it home with me, and then I just thought, can I do this forever? No, not really. Do I want to do this forever? No, not really. So I thought, well, why not do it? Let's just give it a go, really. And I'm very lucky. I've got a very supportive partner and family behind me. So, yeah, we just thought, sod it, give it a go. And here we are over 2 years later now with our shop. Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. So, there must be so many people who have this daydream of one day having their own yarn shop. Does it compare to what you imagined it was going to be?
Oh, it's nothing like what I thought it was going to be. I know when we were chatting at the Textile Festival, I think my idea was, frustratingly, the view that a lot of my customers have of, it must be so nice to sit and knit and crochet all day, and that just is not the case at all. I rarely even bring my knit into the shop anymore because I just don't have time. That's not me grumbling by any means. I love what I do, and I'm very lucky to be in this situation where I've got a community who's responsive to what I'm putting out. A lot more admin, a lot more taxes than I thought, but I get to create the yarn shop that I would want to shop in, and that's really what it was always all about. The yarn shop that I wanted didn't exist in our area, so it's amazing that I get to really tailor everything that comes through the door. Yeah.
Fabulous. And what draws you to a particular yarn or the stock that you have in here?
I mean, I think initially when we first opened the shop, I went to the brands that I knew and loved, like Starcraft and that kind of thing. So they were like, yeah, that's definitely a big tick there on the shelves. It's tried and tested. They've got their customer base already. That's good to go. But then the really exciting bit is like the hand dyers and that kind of thing. And we're blessed up in the Northwest to have just amazing hand dyers surrounded by them. So everyone that we stock is Northwest based from the hand dyers. And then over the years, we've just been trying to fill in the gaps, really. The bit that I never kind of anticipated was that how different a community can be from one community to the next. We could go 6 miles down the road and go to another yarn shop, and their community is going to be so different, and they might have yarn that they can't keep on the shelves because it flies out the door, and we struggle to sell it, and vice versa. So we've had things in that we've tried that I thought, this is amazing, it's not worked, so we've swapped it out, got something else in, and we're always swapping and changing stuff. We're always getting new stuff in all the time, which is really fun and exciting. But yeah, being able to listen to the community is a really nice thing to do, really.
And what kind of things do you do here for the community? I mean, knit and natter type. Well, not knit and natter, because that sounds like...
So we call them a bitch and
ladies.
stitch. Yeah. So we call it a bitch and stitch, and we called it that for a reason because, again, I wanted to create a shop that I wanted to shop in as a consumer, and I would never be tempted to, I don't think, to go to a knit and natter because it's a very different clientele. Don't get me wrong, we definitely get that clientele in the shop, but maybe not at our socials. The idea behind our socials was that it would be a group of like-minded people that could share and relax in that space. And I have to say that's quite a queer community. It's quite a neurodivergent community. But people get to come in and unmask and just chill and actually just enjoy the surroundings, enjoy the people that they're with, and kind of nerd out a little bit over the yarn. So we're not baby bonnets and booties. That those shops exist, those knitting natter groups exist, and that's great, but it's not us. But yes, we do socials two or three times a month. As soon as the kind of sun starts coming out, we knock that down to the 2 a month, because as soon as the sun comes out, everyone wants to go to the beer garden, which is fair enough. I'd go there with them. But then we do all sorts as well. We've done loads of charity stuff in the past where we've made beanies and stuff for the premature baby unit at Stepping Hill Hospital. So we did that in our first year, and we made over 500 little beanies, which was really good fun. We do workshops every single week and loads of different stuff, from beginners to kind of more intermediate and advanced stuff. But yeah, I think that's the nature of having a yarn shop, is that you have to create a community, because there will be people out there that already craft. But your job as well is to get people interested in craft that have never done it before. So by us running all these classes and workshops and stuff, we're building a better community and a bigger community, and that keeps us going, really.
And I guess when you come into a yarn shop or any kind of craft establishment, you can, especially when you're first starting out, you can be a bit kind of blinded by science, as it were. There's such a range of knitting needles and accoutrement and all the different types of yarn, and you don't know where to start. But if you come into a welcoming atmosphere and you can chill and just relax into it, you're going to end up with a better end result, aren't you? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it harkens back to what you were saying before, as to kind of what do we do and how is our community different and that kind of thing. And it's that the big difference between going into an independent shop to a big store like an Abercan or a Hobbycraft is that we are genuinely here to help. You can come in with a pattern query and we're going to help you find the perfect yarn for that project. It's not just, oh, what are you buying? Yeah, check you out, see you later. Most of my job is pattern querying, people coming in saying, oh, I've got this, what can I use it for? Or I've gone wrong here, can you help me fix it? And I've no problem getting some needles out of the back and we go over it together, and that's the beauty of it, really. Yeah, it's what makes us different.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I can remember going into our local yarn shop with my grandma back in the day, and there'd always be at least one person in the shop who was, would know everything about everything when it came to knitting and patterns and stuff. It's so important because, I mean, we've got the wonder of the internet, we've got YouTube, we can look things up, but you're not getting feedback on what you're doing wrong. Sometimes you can't see where you're going wrong, and just another set of eyes to help you out it's so important.
Oh yeah, it's invaluable. I think that's not the majority, but an awful lot of the people that come to our beginners classes, whether it's beginners crochet or beginners knitting, most of them will have tried themselves at home, and YouTube can't reply. So the information's there, but as soon as you go wrong, until you've got someone in front of you that says why it's gone wrong or how to fix it, that's where we come in. That's where the real difference is there. And YouTube and TikTok and Instagram is such a good resource once you know what you're doing. Everything's easy once you know what you're doing. But quite often as well, like at our beginners classes, we'll always give them resources at the end. We always say, obviously, you can come in and chat to us, but if you're at home on your own, it's 11 o'clock at night and you're stuck on your knitting, who's good to look at? And we always try and give them the good references, because there's a million videos out there and it's an absolute minefield. So it's quite nice to say, yeah, you can go to Pearl Soho or Very Pink Knits or Bella Coco or whoever, and these are great resources that are reliable, and you're going to get the same information that we would give you.
What would you say is one of the highlights of having your shop here now?
I think it's always going to be community. I work on my own for the majority of the time. We've got a lovely girl, Ruby, who helps out, and that's fantastic. But for the majority of the time, it's me on my own, and the community becomes your co-workers, and they come in and we have a genuine chatter, and it's, oh, how's your husband doing? Is he feeling better? Or someone's gotten engaged, or someone's having a baby, and making those connections is lovely. And I think having had that hospitality background, that really helped, because I was always front of house mainly, and that's what I loved. Hospitality, I absolutely loved it. But after COVID, everything changed, and that was the same for every industry really. And I think as for yarn shops in particular, we definitely seen possibly those more traditional old school yarn shops. A lot of those left us, unfortunately. They just couldn't keep going through COVID, but now we're having such a resurgence of brand new shops opening. We've had 2 open this week up in Cumbria and another one further down south, all in 1 week. That's 3 in a week. So we're back, yeah. And it's amazing to see it flourish, and I make so many connections with other yarn shop owners as well. And again, it's like your colleagues. You get to chat with them, because really you can't chat to anyone else about what goes on behind the scenes in a yarn shop really. So yeah, it's definitely, it's all these connections that we make. Definitely, it's the most important thing for me.
Yeah, I guess you've got so much in common, and you can, if you've got a problem, there's a good chance somebody else has experienced it themselves and knows how to get out of it. So that's lovely that you've got that community of shop owners as well. Things have certainly changed from the old-fashioned yarn shop. This is just, yarn shops have changed so much.
Oh, definitely. It's absolutely changed, and it's our job to keep them changing. I know for me, we're very lucky because of the age of social media and all of that. We've managed to gain quite a lot of a younger crowd as well, and it's listening to what a younger crowd wants as well as your traditional knitters, and that possibly means more natural fibres. That means more Scandinavian fibres or things that they've not seen before. Again, indie dyers, it's really important that we showcase that, because otherwise you don't really see them unless you follow them on Instagram or you go to a big yarn show. So it's nice that we can offer that. Be up to date with the Ravelry Hot Right Now page, and designers that aren't producing physical patterns, online patterns. We sell an awful lot of physical patterns in the shop, but again, equally, there's as many people coming in with a digital download. So being up to date with that, and someone coming in and saying, listen, I've got this petite knit cloud sweater yarn, what can I use? And me having a Rolodex in my head of, I know exactly what I can pull out, and being able to say to them, do you want natural fibre, or is it more colour and texture that you're bothered about? What kind of budget are we working with? And be able to figure that out for them. You've got to change with the times, really.
Yeah, I can well imagine. How do you keep on top of everything though? Because obviously there's so many different moving parts, and wanting to keep up to date, and obviously in the world of retail you need to be a season ahead really and know what you can. How does that work?
So obviously we're just going into spring summer now. I have had cottons hidden downstairs for months, waiting for this season. We're still in our infancy really. We've only just celebrated our 2nd birthday back in February. So this is our third summer. So I have a better idea and a better understanding as to what my community wants. But yeah, you are completely right. You are being a season ahead, and it feels really bad because I'm not wishing summer away, but in my head it's ticked off and done. I'm thinking about autumn, winter now, and what exciting yarns I'm going to get in then. In terms of just keeping up to date with it and stuff, what I try and do is I will just log onto Ravelry every morning, and just go into the Hot Right Now section, see what's moved around, see what's changing. For the last few weeks now, you can see all those summer patterns starting to rise up, so everyone's minds are changing. Things like the Tolster tee and the Sabai top and a few petite knit little blouses and stuff, they're starting to make their way back up again, and things like the step-by-step sweater are coming down in the ranking a little bit. But yeah, you are right, you've got to be a season ahead, absolutely.
That's amazing. That blows my mind. Being able to completely kind of disjoint yourself from how things are right now. So you're wearing an absolutely gorgeous jumper, can I just say?
Thank you, thanks.
You were saying before that you've given up bringing your knitting into the shop.
Yes.
How do you find time then to carve out for yourself to actually pursue your own craft and your own passion?
So I will point out the obviously this is audio listeners. The sweater that I'm wearing is actually a brand new launch that was just launched today. So this is a collaboration with Starcraft. Starcraft have just launched a whole new range of men's patterns, and it's all about men who want to knit for themselves. It's not women knit for their husbands. So the idea is that these are sweaters that I would want to make and that other people involved would want to make. So yeah, I love this sweater. But when do I find time? Mainly at home. Again, at our bitch and stitch sessions, that's a good 3 hours I can get in there. We also, other people come and use the space in the shop and use it for workshop space. So other people come in, so I'll hide out in the back for a couple of hours and try and get a little bit done then. But I'm not a monogamous crafter, so I've always got multiple things on the go, and I always get castonitis, where I just want to start new things all the time. But it's mainly sample pieces that I'm making, which I think is possibly one of the downsides of knitting. I was chatting to some customers the other day, and I spent a small fortune at the textile festival, and I'm not going to get a chance to work with it for ages, really, because I'm making all these sample pieces ready for winter. So they'll just look pretty in my stash for a while. But because I don't sell the fibres that I bought, realistically, that's very self-indulgent of me to do that, because that's my job. It's to showcase what we sell in the shop. But at the minute, I've been making things that I wouldn't normally make. So they're not for myself. So I made, there's a lovely jumper, this ranunculus.
Yes.
So
stunning.
obviously super viral pattern, lots, like thousands and thousands of people have made it. I would never normally make that. It's a women's pattern with lace and mock cables and all this kind of stuff. I would never normally knit that for myself. So that was so much fun. So that I knocked out in like a week because I just loved knitting it. But yeah, I find time. Yeah. Mainly at home. Yeah.
You don't find that picking up the knitting needles is the last thing you want to do after a busy day with yarn then?
No, not at all. I mean, again, I'm very lucky because it's a very inspiring job to be in, and other people coming in and telling me what they're making. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And then I'll pull up my Ravelry and add it to my favourites. I can come back to it and have a look at it later on. So quite often a few of, like me and some of my customers, we've almost had like a knit along because we've all gotten really excited and made the same thing at the same time, especially when we've got like a new yarn in. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, that'd be perfect for that. And I never want to be like that dodgy salesman. That's not my job. I want to sell things to people that I truly love and believe in. So that makes my life a lot easier. So if I'm ever like, oh, this would make a great Olga sweater, and I'm chatting to someone, I think people can see that it's genuine, and they're like, oh, you're right, that would make a great Olga sweater. I want to make one now. So yeah, quite often we'll accidentally end up doing knit-alongs and crochet-alongs in the shop.
Well, I guess there's no end of inspiration coming your way, though.
Absolutely, yeah, and we're very lucky because we kind of get the inside scoop. So we get to know things a little bit earlier and that kind of thing. We get all our catalogues through early. We get to go to the trade shows, so we see all of next season's stuff. Again, we're a season ahead. We see all next season's stuff before we get to it. We had one of our reps come round, when was it, 3 weeks ago, and he was showing me the autumn-winter range. So that's all ordered. That's done. So it is bonkers. So they're looking at what's on the catwalks, what's in fashion right now, what the major trends are going to be, and then they'll decide their products after that. But again, they have to be ahead of the game as well, because from inception of idea to final product, that could be a 2-year process. Mm. So they really are ahead of the game, and they're kind of telling us what's going to be on trend. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Now, what about the people that you've met through your line of business? Obviously, you've got your community which is very local to where you are, but there's the wonderful online community that, I mean, you've been saying how you had somebody came into your shop who was from Cambridge, and you know, other people that you've come across in your line of business. What's it been like meeting this whole other world of people?
I think the world of social media is bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers, and they're all so different, I have to say. So kind of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, they're all so different, and the communities there are all very different as well. But yeah, we're constantly, every single day I would say somebody comes in that I've never met before and says, oh, I found you on Facebook, or I found you on TikTok, I found you on Instagram, whatever. So that's bonkers. It is bonkers, but I think as soon as I, as a business owner, realised that I have to put my face to this brand, and because it's me who they're buying into, it's not just the stuff that's on the shelves, that just changed everything, I think. So I'm always championing for small businesses to, you are the business, you need to sell you, and just tell people who you are, and they'll decide whether they want to come and shop with you or not. But yeah, it is bonkers, really weird. People will come in and that I've never met before and say, oh, how's that jumper going? And I'm like, what? I've not told you about that. And they're like, oh no, you told us on your story. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, people know more about you than you think. You just forget what you've said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've made some amazing connections, and like I make plans with people that I'm going to go meet and that we've never met before. And when I was down in London the other month, I met up with some people that I'd never met before that were kind of like just like online friends, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's amazing. I think we're very lucky to have it, and I don't think our business would do anywhere near as well as it does without socials.
Well, I mean, you are a very strong presence, certainly in my social media. You're always popping up. And, you know, you're so enthusiastic about what you do. Your passion for your craft and your passion for your shop is kind of contagious. And, I mean, that is a skill in itself, being able to promote yourself in that way, I think, because quite often crafters are quite solo people. You know, you do your craft on your own, in your own little bubble, and it is quite hard to put yourself out there, but you do it in such a nice way. So I think that's the community aspect, though. Like you said, like a lot of it is on your own and that kind of thing. And I know for a fact, having spoken to a few people, I have customers that just order online, or I'll always see their comments in their posts, and then maybe they're housebound, or they've never been to my shop. We've never met in person, but I see their orders coming through. I see their comments coming through, and I feel like, again, social media is magical, and they're building a community from their home, and that it just opens everything up for them, and they don't feel quite as alone, which is really nice. But yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice. Yeah, to have a shared passion with other people that you have no other real connection to is. Absolutely. I think that's why the bitch and stitches work so well as well, because I mean, if you just got random people into a room that had never met and had no connections, they spend the first 20 minutes trying to find a connection, whereas when we get a group of people that have never met before and put them in a room and they all know that they're interested in yarn or fibre or something, they've all got something to chat about, whether it's what is currently on their needles, what they're making, or what they're thinking about making. Oh, what yarn is that? Or like, it just breaks down the barriers straight away, and it's so much easier to make connections with people. Yeah. I mean, you saw that yourself when we were at Textile, and there was the hive where people were sitting, and clearly some of the people that were there had never met before. They literally sat down there, they'd got their knitting, their project, whatever whip they had with them, out of their bag, and before you knew it, there was a group of them all together, sitting, chatting, and, you've got that one thing in common, which is creativity. Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely breaks down barriers. I mean, nothing really matters as long as you've got that connection, nothing else really matters, and you can just talk about that. But yeah, I know a few of our friends from the Bitch and Stitch were helping kind of run the hive, and they had loads of people joining them that they'd never met before, and yeah, everyone's just chatting away, and do you mind watching my bag while I go and grab that pank of yarn? Yeah, no problem. And yeah, it was lovely. It was just, it was really nice. Yeah. It was a very special weekend, I think, Textile, wasn't it? And the brilliant news that we've heard recently is that it was definitely happening again next year. Back on, bigger and better. Yeah. That'll be fantastic. Will you be involved again next year then? I hope so. Yes, hopefully next year we're going to have a stand as well. So that'll be really exciting, so we can take the shop to the festival, which will be quite nice. That'll be amazing. Yeah, no, it was an absolutely wonderful weekend, and so important to have something like this in our hometown of Manchester, because otherwise we have to travel a long distance to get that kind of experience.
Yeah, and I think the venue and that kind of thing was so important as well, because again it would have been quite easy to do it on a smaller scale, but like you said, we have to travel quite far to go to these things, so why not do it all in one big gorgeous venue like Central Manchester? We'll bring it next year, I say.
Absolutely. So looking to the future, what have you got in store here for Manchester Wool and Yarn?
Hopefully expanding a little bit, possibly moving to a larger store. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing, really. So far seems to be working. Whether that'll change, I don't know. But yeah, I think just trying to stick true to the vision that I had. That's what's kind of kept us going, I think, so far. Don't open a yarn shop if you want to make £1 million. It's not going to happen. But as long as you love it and you're passionate about it, that'll keep going. So yeah, hopefully just bigger and better, I would say. Yeah.
Amazing. And one last little question.
Mm-hmm.
You said you get start on itis. Are you good at finishing your whips, or do you have a mountain of...
I've got a few graveyard ones, but I'm always over optimistic about how long it'll take me to finish things. So last night, I'm doing a test knit at the moment, and Intarsia, it's a cowboy sweater vest. It's pretty cute.
I've seen you post about it.
So I've got that on the go. I've got a summer jumper that I've had on the go for probably about 6 weeks, but could have been done if I'd wanted to get it done. And then last night I was looking in the back in the office, and I found a bag that had another whip in it, and it was a sweater vest that just needs the ribbing put on both arms, and I thought, I could get that done tonight. It's sat at home still in exactly the same position. I've always got multiple whips on the go, but normally they'll all kind of finish at the same time, and then I'll start all over again. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Gareth, it's been an absolute joy to speak to you. Thank you so much for having me over.
Not a problem.
And thanks very much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
My huge thanks to Gareth for finding the time to speak to me for Making Stitches podcast. It was so nice hearing the story of his shop, and I look forward to following his journey in future. You can find links to Manchester Wool and Yarn in the show notes for this episode. That's all for this time. I'm going to be back again in 2 weeks' time with more creative chat. If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, please share it with anyone who you think would like to hear it too. And please follow Making Stitches podcast on social media and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Until next time, thanks so much for listening. Take care of yourself and enjoy your crafting.